There's a verse in the Bible that has been purposely taken out to stop you from healing from your sickness and disease. Matthew 17:21 says, "Do not go without prayer and fasting." And this is talking about being cured and regenerating the body, to give some context. But in most Bibles, it goes from Matthew 17:20, skips 21, and goes straight to Matthew 17:22. And this verse has been removed. Prayer and fasting is how you regenerate your body. But what is prayer? But if you go to Mark 11:24, it says, "Whatever ye pray and ask for, believe that ye have received them, and ye shall have them." So this is talking about communicating with your subconscious mind. If you cut your skin, what happens? You get an open wound. Your subconscious mind instantly sends blood, minerals to the wound, and it instantly heals and produces a scab. Automatically. Your conscious mind does not have to do that. Your body knows how to regenerate itself. You have to pray, which is communication with your subconscious, believe that you have been healed, and fast. This is how to communicate with your subconscious and your body.
The biggest cheat code in life is understanding that the world is mental. Every object you see around you was first thought, then made manifested physically, which means mind and matter are one. They are not inseparable. Matter is the expression and crystallization of mind. Your reality is simply just a crystallization of every thought you thought in the past. This then reveals the secret that you are God. Why? Human body, nature, the stars, was all thought into existence by the mind of God. God's mind manifested the world. Now you, a co-creator of God, think your world into existence. You are a smaller version of God. The same power of thought that God used to manifest the world is the same power of thought you manifest your world. As above, so below. This is why the Bible says you are made in the image of God. Your mind is cut out of the same fabric of God's mind. Everything is a reflection within the universe. The only problem is people's thinking. People's thinking is in reaction to the external world, and the external world is simply just the effect of their mind, which creates a constant cycle of negative manifestation. We need to change the mind from reaction thinking into causal thinking, creating better causes that create better effects. Life is simple. The ones who understand how the mind works win. The ones who understand how the mind and the human psyche works rule over the rest. This is exactly what we see today. The biggest lie they ever told you is that death is a mystery. You can figure this stuff out for yourself. You die every single night. That's why they say sleep is the cousin of death. Because when you go to sleep, you return to the self inside the mind. The person who is inside your mind, who wakes up when you go to sleep, is the immortal self, the limitless self, the person that can imagine, fly around in the astral plane, fly around in your dreams. This is the infinite realm of the astral plane that you access every time you dream. And when you die, it's just a bigger version of the nighttime. Nighttime is death, daytime is life. Daytime is the external expression of the mind with the external body, the external self. And when you go to sleep, you return back to the darkness, into the internal self, the self inside the mind. That's why you're called an individual. A dual. You are dual nature, physical, spiritual. The self inside the mind will never die. That person who speaks visions in your mind will never die. You are immortal. If you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change your mental attitude towards it. Don't complain. This is the problem with the world. They live in reaction. Remember, all physical objects are first thought and then manifested physically. We live in a mental universe. The mind is the cause. And if the mind is locked in reaction, you're just going to live in a constant cycle of cause and effect of negativity. We need to change our minds to become causal consciousness. We need the mind to become the cause, not the reaction to the effects. Don't you think it's crazy how you're governing 50 trillion cells right now? And they religiously obey every single thought command that you give them? There's a whole world in there. There's a whole 50 trillion living beings working together. There's a whole universe in your body. And you're commanding it. You're the ruler of it. Insane. Charlie Kirk has been shot dead in front of thousands of people. Whether you agree with his political views or disagree, whether you think he's controlled opposition or not, it's completely irrelevant. But to see the comments underneath the videos of him being shot dead is absolutely shocking. People praising his death, people happy that he's died. It's so sad to see. As humanity, we complain that the world is a mess, the world is horrible, there's so much war, division, but we never look within. The world is a reflection of our internal world. And if we continue to spread hate and praising people's death, the world will continue to be a horrible, cold, unloving place. We need to generate care for one another to build a better reality. That's what we are. We're builders. We are creators. You've been creating 24 hours a day since the day you were born. It's impossible not to create. We need to create a better reality. All of us contribute towards the building project of Earth. We all need to generate care for one another, whether you disagree with someone or not. This is completely irrelevant. I haven't seen much of his content. I don't really know much about him. But to see the comments of people being heartless and praising his death is absolutely shocking. My wishes go out to him, his family, and anyone that was affected to this. And I am not affiliated with anything with him. I am not saying I agree with him. I don't know much about him. But this is strictly to the people that are making horrible, heartless comments.
This is how I created my dream life in under 2 years. My dream life is simply just freedom. In order to create any reality, you have to understand the 3 forces that create reality. The first force of consciousness is thought. The best thing you will possibly do in your life is master your thoughts and only think and give attention to positive thoughts that align with your goal. Use your thoughts to believe that you already have the reality. The second force is emotion. Emotion is what you care about. Whatever you give attention to is what you care about. This is the Freemasons' G inside of the square and compass. Generative principle. You generate what you care about. Whatever you place attention to, whatever your consciousness focuses on, that's what you generate. It's about creating care for what you're trying to create. You are a Mason. Everyone is a Mason in the world. You are a builder, a force of consciousness that turns thoughts into reality. Whether you're initiated into Freemasonry or not, I am personally not. But we are all Masons, all builders of reality. So now you have a thought, an idea, and you believe the idea is already true. You use your emotion to place your love energy on it, which is care. What you care about is what you will create. That's Genesis, generation. Then the third one is action. Simple. There's something called unity consciousness. The 3 must become one. What you think, what you care about, and what you act all need to be one, working together. When you act on your thoughts and what you care about, you will create that reality. You need to gain unity consciousness and actually act upon what you feel is good and what you think. And every day, compounding this unity consciousness towards your goal, you will create anything you wish.
Smoking weed every day can destroy your life because it prevents you from dreaming, and if you are not dreaming, you need to listen up and be worried. Dreaming is a form of the subconscious mind processing everything. All of the traumas that we hide, all of the thoughts that we think throughout the day, everything we see in the daytime, it's all being stored within the subconscious mind. Therefore, when you dream, you are seeing a visualization of your subconscious mind processing everything that's gone inside of you. If you do not dream, which weed prevents, then the subconscious mind is not processing. And if you are not processing something, it's all being stored within you. And it will process in another indirect way. For example, people who smoke weed all the time, like myself back in the day, I would randomly come out with outbursts of rage, outbursts of emotion, outbursts of sadness. This is because I was not dreaming, and the subconscious mind was not processing any of the emotional things going on inside of me. Anything that comes in has to come out in some form or way. Dreaming is essential for subconscious health. And if you do not process, it will seek to control you. This is why I stopped smoking weed. And yes, it's good for some reasons. You can use it for deep meditations. You can use it for other things of altered states of consciousness. But me personally, I just don't smoke it every day, and I haven't smoked it in the last 2 years.
There's only one verse in the Bible that has been purposely not translated so you do not figure out the powers of astrology. Yes, if you go to Job 38:32, and it says, "Canst thou bring forth the Mazeroth in his season? Knowest thou the audience of the heavens?" This is talking about astrology. But what is the Mazeroth? The Mazeroth is Hebrew for 12 signs, but this is the only word in the Bible that they decided not to translate. I wonder why that is. It's because they do not want you to understand the influences of the Pleiades or the bands of Orion, the influences of the heavens. They do not want you understanding astrology, because astrology brings you power once you understand it. I made the mistake of trying to force awakening onto friends and family early on in my journey, and it only destroyed my connections and relationships with them. Because they alienate you, they call you crazy and a conspiracy theorist. The best thing you can do instead is to simply plant a seed with great evidence or a video if the conversation comes up into topic, and let that seed grow over time. You have to remember, people can only see reality through the lens of their belief systems, and then belief systems have been formed for years in their subconscious mind, and it's very difficult to see through them. So what you have to do is to plant the seed and let it grow in their mind over time, and they will come back to you one day more than likely and say you were right, you were correct. And then you go deeper with them. Never reveal information people's minds aren't ready for. If they ask, give it them. Knock and you shall receive. The worst thing that happened to me when I stopped believing in Jesus is the fact that I was then 100% accountable for my reality. If something bad happened, I could no longer blame Satan or God for this bad thing happening in my reality. It was me, it was my responsibility to change it. The reason why I changed over is because I had a great realization one day. The mind seeks to validate everything it believes. If you believe in Jesus and you were in a car crash and survived, you would say Jesus saved you. If you believed in Allah and you were in a car crash and survived, you would say Allah saved you. Which means the only truth that remains the same is the substance of mind itself, not the belief the mind believes, if you can get your head around that. So then I realized the only truth is the substance of mind itself, not the illusion that the mind is believing. So why don't I study the substance of mind, which is then, you realize, is the substance of God, consciousness. Don't get lost in the illusions that the mind can create. Study the substance of mind itself, and that will lead you to consciousness, which is the very fabric of God. The scariest part about having your first out-of-body experience is the realization that you have been lied to your whole life about the earth, what you are, your capabilities, and what you're doing on the earth. The good thing you get out of it is that you realize that you are eternal and you will never truly die. You realize with absolute certainty that you are far more than your physical form. This recognition transforms your life because you carry this living awareness that you are eternal. Death loses its power over you. You take bold steps because you understand that nothing can truly end you, and nothing can use the fear of death to control you. Human beings fear the unknown because ignorance creates a shadow. Any fear you hold in your life arises from a gap in understanding a specific dimension of reality or field of knowledge. The only knowledge that truly matters is the knowledge of yourself, because the knowledge of yourself can be carried on eternally. The Matrix is designed to keep you trapped in rabbit holes and certain conspiracy theories and useless information to never actually discover your true capabilities and the power of consciousness.
AI is ready to destroy the internet right now, and I'm here to give you a warning and a prediction of what's going to happen with AI. You've probably already seen the videos of Jake Paul doing his makeup. Yes, these are AI generated videos and you can't even tell if it's real or fake. Now, this is where the problem comes. Within the next few months, people are going to start to get framed by AI generated videos. Imagine someone creating a hyper-realistic official, doing something scandalous, and claiming it's leaked footage. This could be like a politician, a person in government, and creating a video, and people believe it, and the outrage spreads. Then the censorship follows. The government of the world will step in with a new regulation saying, we need to control this technology, people are getting framed. Although this will be good on one hand because people will no longer get framed by AI videos, however, on the other hand, To the same extent of that control will extend into what we say, what we post, what we create. It will become the perfect excuse to regulate the internet on a level we've never seen before. To me, this feels intentional. Create chaos, then bring the order. Problem, reaction, solution. So be very careful. I'm giving you a warning of what's going to happen on the internet.
Don't you think it's scary when you realize that your brain is always trying to validate every single belief that you have? Let's say you're in a car crash and you magically survive. If you believe in Jesus, you're going to say, well, Jesus saved me. Or if the same person was in a car crash but they believe in Allah, they're going to say Allah saved them from the car crash. But the truth remains the same, that the substance of mind is beneath all of this. Therefore, they don't realize that mind is the substance of God. If you believe you're a success, your mind will scan the environment to validate that belief and create that reality. If you believe you're a failure, your mind will look for anything in your outside reality to validate that internal belief and make that reality. Your mind is always unfolding creation and reality. We have to understand this. The law of polarity, ice and water, they are the same thing but just different degrees. This means we can transmute our mindsets from darkness into light. This is how you gain your power, transmuting all the negative aspects of your mind into a positive light one. That's how you become powerful. In order to win the game of life, you have to understand this one thing. And that one thing is understanding that reality is not fixed. It's lucid, it's formless, and it's shaped by the shape of your thoughts. You become what you think about. And if you can control this temple up here, this mind, you all can control your reality. This is the number one secret. All is mind. Look around. In order to create the life that you want, you have to ask yourself this one question. What are my actions trying to subconsciously fulfill? What do I mean? When you post on social media, are you trying to seek validation from others? Are you trying to gain a relationship to fulfill the feeling of loneliness deep within your subconscious mind? So once you are honest with yourself, you will find the hidden force that is controlling you. That hidden force is a belief. So now we need to reprogram the mind to believe something before you have it. Believe you are already successful. And guess what? Your actions will then be controlled by that force. You will subconsciously be trying to validate the belief of success. Instead of trying to seek validation from others and posting on social media, you'll be acting according to that belief. Subconsciously, you won't even know you're doing it. And that's how the wealthy become more wealthy. This is how the successful people become more successful, because they believe. I always get asked, why are Freemasons called Freemasons? This has deep connections with the ancient cathedrals that we can't build today, and maybe even the Egyptian pyramids. The word Mason means builder. And the reason why they're called Freemasons, free builders, this is because the origins of Freemasonry was a group of builders who understood and had the knowledge of how to build these ancient structures. These specific structures that we see everywhere around the world that we cannot replicate today. They were the people who possessed the knowledge to build these structures. And in this specific time of history, the world had many different empires and different kings in each country. And every empire would control and restrict the people that they controlled, where they traveled, what they said, what they believed, what religion, everything. The civilians in each empire were not allowed to travel around the world. They had to stay inside of their emperor's kingdom. However, the Freemasons possessed the knowledge to build these amazing structures. Therefore, the emperors around the world would contact the Masons to come and build a magnificent structure in their kingdom or empire. This is why we see Freemasons use Egyptian symbolism, Sumerian symbolism, and all sorts of symbolism around the world, because they gained hidden knowledge from each empire around the world. They were known as Freemasons. They were free to travel the world and build. This is how the lodge system started, because they gained a lot of wealth, a lot of power, and a lot of knowledge. By going around the world and gaining hidden wisdom, hidden knowledge of consciousness, how you function, psychology. The world is changing and it's so easy to get information nowadays. But the best thing you can do is to go out there, gain all the information possible from many different sources, take it with a pinch of salt and come to your own conclusion. If someone's claiming they have the truth, be wary of them, but just simply go out there and come to your own conclusions. That's what I like to do. I've never claimed to say that I have the truth. I simply just share my research, and hopefully my research helps you. Have an amazing day, everyone. Mondays are a perfect opportunity to change your life. You know, if you're not evolving mentally, physically, spiritually every single week, then you're becoming stagnant. And look what happens to water when it's not flowing and when it stays in one place for a long time. It becomes poisonous and you can't drink it. It's the same with you. Your mind must be continuously expanding into new fields of thought. Your body should be evolving and moving at all times. So, my people, make this Monday a chance to change your life and start the journey of... One thing that I've realized on my journey is that the mind is something that cannot be left alone. Now, what do I mean? If you leave the mind alone and stop being disciplined, you stop meditating, you stop doing the affirmations, then the mind will fall back into its old destructive, negative ways of thinking. And it will start to destruct your life, destruct your actions. We have to keep on top of the mind with meditation, discipline, and daily affirmation. This way, you constantly refine it. Hello everyone, I've decided I'm going to document writing this next book. Don't be that person that lets their mind take away their own power. Why would you let your own mind sabotage you and take away your power? Why would you let your mind tell you you're horrible, you're ugly, you can't do this, or limit yourself? Your mind is the only thing that you can actually control. It's the only thing in the world you possess. It's the only thing you own, actually own. And it's the only thing that you can fully control. Don't let your mind take away your own power. You need to reprogram the mind so that it's on your team, so it's pushing you, giving you good ideas, and boosting yourself and giving you confidence. This is why you have to work on the mind. You have to work on the inner world. If you don't work on the inner world, you'll continue. So there's a massive misunderstanding with people saying that I don't believe in God. Of course there's a God. I know there's a God. However, it's not the God that religion teaches you. Religion teaches you there is this separate being outside of you that you should worship. This is false, because they want you to take away your power. They don't want you to realize that there is one God, and that God is consciousness. The same consciousness in me, in the squirrel, in you, in everything, the plants, is this awareness. We are all part of an infinite consciousness, fractaled in separate bodies, the universe experiencing itself. So you don't need to go to church to worship it. You just simply have to turn off your ego and meditate and rise above your thoughts, and you can connect with the source within you. Now, people say they know God.